Hello, my name is Ife Olali and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, please be a darling and subscribe to my channel. On this channel, we talk about untold stories of motherhood. It can be your struggle with feeding your baby to the loss of a child or a loved one. Today on the show, we'll be talking to a super mom who lost her child. Let's meet our guest for today. Her name is Treasure. Hello Treasure, welcome to the channel.
Welcome. My name is Treasure Christopher. I'm a YouTuber, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, and I'm also a lawyer.
Okay.
Yes, I run a YouTube channel, and the name of the channel is KOOK_wheat_TEE with 2 blushy emojis. Please go and subscribe.
Welcome, Treasure. So tell us everything. Tell me everything from the pregnancy, from when you found out you got pregnant to delivery and everything in between.
Okay. I had my first child last year.
Okay.
At about 40-something weeks and some days. And it was a CS and an unplanned, that's an emergency CS. And there's a whole lot from even my first child having to find out that she had low glucose level.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the scan told us she was 4 points, and when she came out, she was 3 points. She really fought for the first. You know, when you're coming out to somewhere, you're coming to somewhere new, and the next thing you're going through pains immediately for the next 48 hours. So that was my plight. God helped us. We fought that battle, and it was safe. And we got home, and the whole process, you know, now Africa and everything. So getting to being pregnant again in the space of 4 months, I didn't even know that.
So, Mrs. Treasure, your child was 4 months, a baby. Yeah, how funny.
You know that, when you're now getting the banger body back, and you're like, this December I'm going to pepper, and I was ready for December last year. I was like, I'm going to show everybody pepper, travel, because my husband has this feeling that if you're pregnant, you don't need to make a lot of outside state movement.
Yes. I think that's the thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was really prepared for the fun, but I found out and I was pregnant. I didn't even know because there was no sign. This myth,
no morning sickness.
Yes, no morning sickness. But the moment you do that pregnancy test, all the symptoms, the psychology will just change. You just feel yourself spitting from nowhere. So that was it. I was living my life. I was going for my school programs. I was jumping boards. You see me, I was trying to be agile. I didn't even know that there was something growing in the oven. I was just living my life. So at a point where it dawned on me that I noticed I was working out, but my stomach was not reducing. I'm like, even when I'll do abs workout, I'll even extend the time.
Like you were doing sit-ups?
Yes. I was doing sit-ups, I was doing a whole lot of abs workout because on my mind that pregnancy, I told my doctor, I was like 3 years, people not see me because so I bragged. I didn't even think about it, right? So something just told me that evening when I got back home that I should just randomly do a street test. For this pregnancy, I didn't even do PT, blood test. I just went to a nearby pharmacy and I got the street.
Yes.
And I did it in another bathroom. I was not my room bathroom. I just secretly hid when my husband was sleeping. And I did it. And I kept it.
So what was your feeling like when you saw the 2 lines? Yeah,
I felt awkward. Like I was like, what?
Was it shock? Like
I was shocked.
Tell us your thought process.
Okay. Then I was very shocked. I did not expect it because I thought I was too careful.
Yes.
I didn't expect the results to be the way it was, and I didn't know how to convey the message to my husband because after what we spent in the hospital, we told ourselves, even in 3 years' time, we will not hear this place again. And my friends were there, favor. I was telling them, if people will catch me in the hospital, I will not hear this place.
Never say never. Never say never.
What will I do?
Okay, so how did you pass the message on to your husband?
I waited for morning to reach where. I did not even want to tell him. I was like, let me go and come back. But I carried the strip and put it in my handbag. I was like, okay, let me just tell this man, bad as he bad, even if he won't shout. I go take out. So when I told him that, I just brought out this strip. You know what they say, action speaks louder than words. I just brought out the evidence and showed him. He was like, wow, wow, no comment. I was like, what? Say something. Like, what do you want me to say?
Wow. What was your pregnancy like? The whole phase of pregnancy? Was it a smooth ride?
Okay, compared to my first, like they say, every child is unique.
Yes, every child is unique. That's
every pregnancy experience is very, very unique. Don't take it for granted. This one was seamless, and
let me doing sit-ups.
Yeah, very seamless. And I was taking a lot of dieting tea when I was pregnant. But the moment I noticed the outcome of the pregnancy, I had to stop.
Yeah. So the whole process
was so easy. It was then I knew that this would probably be a different gender, because my daughter showed me Banza. As in, for 3 months, I was on in and out admission. BMH, UST, Orobum. I was going all over and out, vomiting, carrying buckets everywhere.
My God, tell me about it. I know it. I know it.
Blood, hypertonic, gravidarum, the highest.
I know it. I know it.
But this one, it was very easy. And sometimes I'll be like, maybe did I take this pregnancy for granted? You know, when something decided to
come easy,
come easy, and you know, overflow the easiness. You instead of it to sometimes like I forget that I'm pregnant. Yes, and I want to do extra. I'll be like, after all, the baby is not disturbing me. I can actually go to church 3 times in a week, or even sleep in church the whole week.
So this is a message for you, mothers.
Yes.
Regardless of whether your pregnancy is easy or not, the key word is rest, and rest.
You shared with us that the pregnancy was easy, but you lost the baby. What happened?
Okay, this is the hour I've been waiting for. The pregnancy, yes, it was easy and everything, but I scheduled my delivery to be on the 24th of April. But something happened. You know, sometimes, I don't know if, okay, let me just say, sometimes things have to just happen just for the name of God to be glorified later. So, my doctor met me. I was like, you can't do this on the 24th. Let's reschedule to 15th. I was like, okay, 15th is not bad. Then he called again. I was like, 15th. He noticed 15th is election. That was the election for Falga that they hold. That let's reschedule to 10th. And 10th happened to be the Easter Monday. So we called the surgeon, and the surgeon was like, that 10th is a public holiday, but he will see how he can play around it, because after then he was going to travel for a long time.
Okay. And then the surgery was done on which date now?
On the 10th.
On the 10th, okay.
Yes, on the 10th.
Okay.
So I got to the hospital around 10 a.m. on that 10th, and the surgeon interviewed me and all. I was like, okay, I need to go and do a scan.
Okay.
I went for a scan, and see me, boo. I got my scan results, PCV, everything. And they're like, okay, that baby is very okay, healthy baby. And I'm like, okay, doctor, the surgeon was like, we are good to go. Get your things to the hospital. So I checked in at about 5 o'clock. I and my family, my husband, we prayed in the room. They gave me a ward first, but I wasn't comfortable with the ward. So I had the leading to change. So we went to a private ward. Something unique happened inside the theater. You know, when you have anxiety for nothing. When I was walking in, not like my first child, I walked in, and something prior to that day, I've been having a lot of revelations from my family and friends saying they are seeing death for me. I should be careful. I should pray. And on that particular tent, my husband's friend called him. I was like, how is your wife? He just had a bad dream about me. And by then I'd already entered. My husband was like, she just entered the theater. So immediately I saw when he looked at me from outside, I was sitting on the bed. So he looked at me and he wheeled. I was like,
so was the process successful?
It was successful, but I had an extra bleeding in the theater. That was why I said it was a very unique CS. I bled more than my first, more than normal. And I noticed during the process, when the doctor expanded something inside my stomach. When I heard crack.
Yes.
Even if I couldn't feel any pain, I just heard the noise. And they brought out the baby and everything and showed me the baby. Baby cried.
Baby cried? Okay.
Normal. Yeah. They were like, baby is healthy. Even the baby was not as big as my daughter.
Yeah.
They showed me the baby. Baby checked tonsils, checked the tongue. Baby cried normal. And they went to clean him up and dressed him and took him out.
Okay.
The pediatrician was on standby. She checked him, put the light, everything.
Everything was fine.
Everything was fine.
Okay, so when did this ordeal start? Like, when did this
whole shenanigans, the whole everything started? I came out of the theater and they said the baby's breathing was above 100.
Okay.
And for a newborn, it's abnormal.
Yeah.
Yes. It's supposed to be in the range of 50, 40 something. So it was above 120. Even my mom, that is a medical personnel.
Okay, so what were they doing about the process?
They said we should leave the baby to rest on his bed. Nobody should carry. There should not be any activity for the baby. They should allow the baby rest.
All right.
So the baby laid on the bed. Me now, I was wheeled out and I didn't even know what was going on.
Yes.
So it was the next day. I now started getting myself. The baby was still on the bed.
Yes.
So when they came to check him that Tuesday morning, they're like, that the breathing is 60. It's coming down, but it's not what they want.
Yes.
So it's fluctuating. When they come in the morning, it will be 60 something. When they come again, it will be 70 something. Yeah. It will be 50 something. It wasn't balanced.
What was the action of the doctors
immediately they noticed that they placed an oxygen line to help the blood circulate very well and help the bleeding. Because they checked his lungs, checked his vitals, everything was perfect. Checked his glucose, everything was perfect. So it's not like there was a blockage in the chest
or something.
Yes, or maybe something. Yes, or nothing. Everything was perfect, and they're like, so what is making this breathing go up? They're like, maybe it's more for male children. Especially now that it wasn't vaginal birth. If it was vaginal birth, it would have suppressed that process of pushing. This one is CS. Yes,
I'm thinking that the CS even made it
it would have suppressed him, and that stress will now make him. But since it's CS, they let them still watch him. But aside that, there's nothing wrong with the baby. There was nothing, absolutely nothing. He will cry when he wants to cry. He poops well. From black, the poop changed to normal poo, and it was just the breathing. And even the novel was drying very well. Everything was just okay. And the doctor was like, breathing no be anything to say you cause for alarm. Even when we suggested, okay, let them refer us, they were like, this is not what they cannot handle.
Yes.
If they wanted to refer us, it would have been at the time of my daughter. They would have even thought of referring us. So Tuesday passed, Wednesday passed. They were like, okay, let them check whether there's an inlining jaundice. But looking at the baby, there was no trace of jaundice. So the pediatrician came in, and what I'll just say before I continue is, God bless all the doctors, the team of doctors that were there, because none of them were asleep. It was as if I was the only one who gave birth in the hospital. My room was full.
Yes.
The doctors, the nurses, the matrons, everyone was on standby. The pediatrician was there, even when I didn't pay for an extra fee for her to keep coming from BMH. She was there for me. And she checked the baby. They rolled in the phototherapy. They placed it immediately, removed his clothes, covered his eyes, placed it immediately on him for the next 24 hours. And when she came again in the morning, she was like, she had to remove it because there was no need. There was no jaundice. If there was any journey, maybe the one that comes from birth, which that light would have even cleared.
So, like, when this was going on, what were your thoughts? What was going on in your mind?
I was just like,
was that fear there that you were going to lose your child? Did it cross your mind?
I'll be very honest, it did.
Okay.
It crossed my mind at some point.
But you had to be strong.
I had to be strong.
Yes.
I had to, like, you know, that moment when you have no choice. The only thing you have to be is to let the will of God happen. Just be strong.
Be strong.
Because I had a toddler there.
Yes.
That I didn't have to show any sign of weakness in the hospital. Even when my mom's BP started going up, I had to force myself to be strong.
Be strong, yeah.
In the midst of chaos.
Okay, so what then happened? Was there any development? Was there improvement? Were you asked to move to another hospital? What was going on?
Okay, for improvement, there was improvements.
Okay.
It was even the improvement that my husband kept telling me, you will carry this boy, don't worry, you will carry him. You know that moment when you're looking at your child, you can't even carry your child. Because they're like, leave him. And because you love this child, you want to obey the doctor's instruction. Because your aim is to carry this child. When you go home, you have all the time to yourself. Even my mom, I told her, just calm down. I know it's your grandchild. When you go home, you can use your own experience and take care of the child. The doctors will not tell you no. So that was my hope.
So what this close to his death? What happened? What happened close to his death? What happened?
Okay, on Wednesday, that was when you visited me.
Oh, wow.
Yes, on Wednesday, there was improvements. They checked, it came down to 50 and 48. That was all they got. But suddenly, when the nurse on evening duty came, she checked again and it was 60. And the midnight doctor, it was 50. It was fluctuating. They now still put back the oxygen.
Okay.
They said if we want to feed, we should call in the attention of the doctor. And then they now said, okay, we can be feeding 3 hours interval. 3 hours, but not direct. You have to express and allow him to suck at his will. The baby was under distress.
Okay.
Oxygen this one here,
and
that one here.
Wow.
The baby was, even me, I was looking at this boy, I said, I don't even know the prayer to pray. You know, when at that point you can't pray, but you just keep telling God, let my past prayers work for me.
Work for you. Yes.
Because the truth is, you have to keep praying. You don't have to have an indication for prayer, because a point in your life will come when you can't pray. And the only thing you start telling God is, let my previous prayers begin to speak for me. So that morning, when the doctor left, my mom as a medical person, she wanted to change his diaper. She looked at this baby turning yellow, looking pale. She had to leave the room immediately and shout, doctor, please come. The doctor now came back to the hospital, to the room. And before the doctor left, they brought something to check the heart of the baby. A machine where you can see the heart. Yes, that was what they brought first. They rolled it in, they brought the machine. They were seeing the heart reading. It was reading this. The heart, the red heart was there. Sometimes it will crack as if it's a broken heart. And you know that thing, I just left the room immediately and went out, and I just started speaking in tongues. Because at that point I told God, whatever it is that you want at this point, just do it.
When your mom went to call
the doctor, the doctor came back and was like, this is beyond us. Immediately they wrote a letter, because they cannot understand a baby that is not sick, turning pale. Immediately they wrote a referral letter called BMH. So then, please keep a bed for baby Treasure. He's coming right now. So they had to dismantle everything. Now put the bigger oxygen that's the channel to the ambulance. And told my husband to just gather courage. Told my mom to gather courage. They packed 1 or 2 pampers for him.
Wow.
That was that morning after I called the breast pump and all. So it happened so fast. It happened really fast. Like,
and then when they took him to
their intensive care and this is well. So they rushed him to the ambulance. My mom went there. I was asked not to go. They said if they needed anything, maybe milk, they will call me. They will come and pick it up.
there, they rushed him. They detached the oxygen from the one in the ambulance, took him immediately, put him under the lights, and the pediatrician was there. She took him like her own son. It was as if God channel, let it be that we did our best.
Our best, yes.
I will always call my, because I was restless. Even people who were visiting me, if you even come, I'll be like, okay, if you want to come. I didn't even want people to come again at that point, because the baby was not there in the hospital. I couldn't do. I was, when there's no
just
yes, there's AC, but you are cold, you're cold
and hot at the same time.
You are restless. You say eat now, you can't. You cannot even go to the toilet.
You just want to know what is happening.
So each time I call, I didn't even have airtime again. So that's it. Why don't I have credit? My neighbor now sent me a huge amount of airtime. I was like, wow. I started calling. When I call my husband, he'll be like, baby is fine. That even when they got there, he opened his eyes. They were like, this baby is okay now. They took him immediately, took him to the skibo ward and started attending to him. They're like, this baby is fine. It's not something. So the doctors, they put back the oxygen there, put the light, the yellow light, to see properly what is going on.
So at what point did this happen?
About after 1, they said my husband should donate blood. So they checked his PCV there, and he donated the pounds of blood they needed. And plus he gave him food safe, unripe plantain, to resuscitate his own self. They took the blood to the skibo, and before you know it, the baby was getting semi-conscious. He will go, he will come back. He will go, he will come back. At that point, even when I called my husband, he was like, he's fine, he's fine. They knew what was happening, because in skibo, you will enter the place, but you will not enter the main place. But that place, there's a big mirror where you see everything going on as a parent. That's your limitation, and you can't enter there with your footwear.
So that place is
sterilized,
and
so they were seeing what was going on. They were seeing that there was no point where the pediatrician even sat down. She was.
So how did your husband feel when he got the news? Like, what was going through his mind? I'm sure he must have shared with you.
Well, men will always be men. They will not want to tell you exactly, so that you will not feel weak. The truth is, men cry. And you know when it has to do with your loins. So at that point where
he got the news,
it was a shocking news. At that point when the baby, because the baby went dead and alive as at 2 times. So when the second time he came back alive, they were like, okay, let them start this blood immediately. So they set the line, they put the blood, and the blood dried off from nowhere. When they put blood and something sapped the whole blood, and they can't still know if there's an internal bleeding. They checked everything. There was no internal bleeding. There was nothing.
There was nothing.
So the doctor was like,
who now broke the news to him?
It was the doctor that broke the news.
So how did he handle it with what you saw, like the way your husband has been behaving, or like that time?
Where I was, the time the baby passed, I felt a sharp pain in my chest.
My God.
That was 3 o'clock on the dot. And I told my sister, I need to make a call now. She was like, calm down. My neighbor was like, calm down. I said, no. I know this baby has gone. I need to call. That was what immediately it happened. I just as if the Holy Spirit just told me, be comforted. That was how I felt, and I made the call, and my husband told me they're on their way coming back. I was like, okay, what of my mom? He said my mom is in the car with him. I just smiled. I said, okay. I called again. I'm like, what of the baby? He said, oh, baby is fine. That my mom wants to do change of clothes. Then this one, I just laughed.
Okay, as at then they have given them the news, so they were coming back to you. Okay, so when they came back to you, now I want to understand your own thought process, like straight to it.
Okay.
Who told you, and what did you feel?
They told me stylishly, but the Holy Spirit had already told me. I had already sensed when I felt that pain. The Holy Spirit just told me, be comforted. That was what I just heard in my spirit, man. So at that point, I just smiled. Is it okay? I was calm. I didn't even tell my sister anything I felt.
Mm-hmm.
So when my sister was like, "What are they saying about baby?" I was just
okay. So
coming.
When your husband told you,
yeah,
what happened?
When they came back to the hospital, my husband climbed up to the room where I was, and he was like, "How are you doing?" I said, "I'm fine." Like, he wants to show me something, because they saw it as they had to show me the baby first and collect the first clothes he wore when he came, and before doing any other thing. So they're like, that he would like to show me something or downstairs. I'm like, what's that? Where's baby? He said, baby is fine, baby is okay. I said, where's my mom? He said, my mom is downstairs, my dad is downstairs. I was like, okay, let's go. So he took me down. He was just patting my back. He was like, what he wants to show me, I will love it. That I should just smile. That I should just be happy with myself. I said, let's go. I already know that baby has passed. That's what I told him. He was just smiling. So we went downstairs, and my dad now met me, caught me on the way. I was like, how am I doing? I said, I'm doing okay. Then he now took me aside and was like, that's because my dad is a very straightforward person.
Yeah, so he was the one that told you.
He told me, see, my daughter, anything you see, just take it as God is superior over everything. Just be comforted, because they did what they did.
Yeah, they did what
just
they
to
could.
make sure.
So what were you feeling at the time?
My feet were cold.
Okay.
I was shivering.
Okay.
And I was speechless.
Wow.
In my mind, I was like, God, na so. If na so now, no wahala.
Wow.
The only thing I kept remembering was my struggles of 9 months.
Yeah.
At that point, it's like
everything is over.
Everyone has seen me pregnant, even if some people did not even know. Like, I hear people say they go to the hospitals and they don't come back with evidence. They come back with their bag. So this is reality.
This is reality, yeah.
It's like, wow. Wow.
Okay.
I saw my mom already crying. Her BP was up. They were even trying to manage her BP.
Yes.
So she was crying. She was telling me, my daughter, there was no indication medically for this boy to go.
Okay.
But since it's like this, let's God's will be done.
Okay, so now it's quite an intense one. What do you want to tell mothers that have gone through this? Or yes, what is your encouragement for mothers that have gone through this?
First of all, shout out to mothers. It's not easy. Even if you have a partner, the pain is your pain. It's a personal pain. Family and friends will be there. They will encourage you, but now you carry this pain. Now you and the baby lived together. So it is your pain. I want to encourage you that first, you cannot go through any pain without the help of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
That is you know, when Mama came and she stirred the prayer in the room and she was like, Holy Spirit, we need you.
Yeah.
Even after I left the hospital, even when I want to cry, I will just see myself saying, Holy Spirit, I need you. Even when I want to question God, when I open my mouth, the next thing I hear is, Holy Spirit, I need you. I can't even question. It's as if the Holy Spirit makes you vulnerable. You can't do anything for yourself, Father, because the next question that you hear is, what if you were the one dead? What will your people have been saying by now? Your baby is there, fine. The baby okay? Yeah. That would have been a great loss. So, because you have made a name for yourself, to the society, to your friends, to your family. So at that point, what I will just say is, put on the whole armor of God. Because even when the consolers leave, it's now between you and you. You are responsible for your snapback. You are responsible for your healing process. Sometimes the tears will come. I will not say don't cry. Cry when you have to cry, but cry with an understanding. Don't cry like those who don't have a God.
Who don't have God.
You understand? Cry because it's your pain. But when you cry, you wipe your tears and you move on. You tell yourself, okay, for God to do this, that means there is a plan.
There is a plan.
And that plan must be achieved. That's why He kept you alive.
Thank you so much, Treasure, for sharing your story with us. And I hope that someone out there is encouraged. I also want to say, stay strong. How you can also come out of this is prayers.
Yes.
Because it is only the Holy Spirit that can counsel you, that can
Exactly.
guide you, help you out of this situation. Also, create a routine for yourself. What do you do when you wake up? Because if you stay idle, it's worse. So you have to create a routine for yourself. And let that comfort always be there. If your spouse or your family members want to console you, don't reject the comfort, because there are some people, how they translate this is they withdraw. So try to stay in that circle, stay in that comfort, and always, anytime you feel confused, go back to God.
That's your
God,
source.
this is me. God, this is me. Take control. This is me. This is me. This is me. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much, Treasure, for sharing your story. Yes.
Okay, I want to add one last thing. In your healing process, find what you do that makes you happy, because I was discharged on Friday. On Sunday, I went for praise wine. A lot of persons who saw my post, they thought I was insane. But at that, my husband knows what I love, that helps me get distracted. So he had to take me to a concert. And I met my music mentor. I met with Mercy Chinwo. I was so happy. People were like, "You're going out already."
Oh, yes. You know, that's how Africans translate things.
Like, what is wrong with
someone
you?
dies, they're supposed to stay indoors. And but people translate these things differently. People handle it differently. So
and that's
people when they do that.
Yes, that's my way of healing. It has happened. Even if I stay indoors for the next 2 years, it will not come back. Life has to move on. Ministry has to move on.
Yes.
So I will encourage you, look for what you love. And if you have a supportive partner, don't trade it.
Don't trade it for anything.
Look for what you love.
And I also want to say shout out to all the husbands, all the fathers out there who has experienced this. We stand with you. We are with you, and we are praying with and for you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.